something, you looking at who the best team is.
Oh, for sure.
So, this around '08, '07, around that time,
Mm,
uh, I'm really starting to get into watching basketball.
mhm, mm,
So that was my first team. So again, this you talking '07, '06, '07, '08. This is when, Durant and all them about to get drafted.
yep,
So when they get drafted, I'm hearing about this guy, Kevin Durant. So I watched. I didn't watch many of his games, but I saw like some of his highlights from when he was in college, and I was like, man, he different,
yeah, it was different
And
for sure.
so, of course, he got drafted by Supersonics, uh,
Mhm,
which I knew a little bit about him, not much about the Supersonics, but I had started playing 2K around the same time too. I've been playing 2K since 2K11.
mhm,
So as I started to watch OKC when they became OKC after his first year, I was like, man, I really like this Kevin Durant guy. And after the first year too, they drafted Russ. I was like, man, I like how these young guys is playing, man. They playing fast paced,
yep,
aggressive,
tough.
they doing everything. I was like, man, I like this team. And so really, I just started watching them. That was like all I was watching. I was watching every OKC game. I mean, that's really all I was watching. I play 2K. I'm only playing with the Thunder. I started liking the Bulls too, because, around 2011, 2012, that's when
Yeah.
D Rose started to come up. Then I really got really into basketball. So I really only, can honestly say that I've been like head deep into basketball, like really into basketball since about 2010s, really, you
Mhm.
know. Um, so yeah, OKC has been my favorite team since Durant got drafted, and he's been my favorite player ever since. But growing up, Shaq was my favorite player
Yeah.
uh, when I
Yeah,
was young.
it's always that one guy. I remember um the first thing I remember about like seeing basketball was actually it's crazy. Was Jordan's last year with the Bulls because I remember my stepdad and my cousin was arguing about the Jazz versus the Bulls. Now, I at that moment when they were arguing, I didn't know who the Jazz and the Bulls were as a kid. I didn't know what they were arguing about, but of course, my cousin was a Bull. He was like 15, 16 years old, so of course, he loves Michael Jordan. And my dad, my stepdad, of course, older, like that, the way that the Jazz played, just pure basketball, pick and roll, pick and pop, John Stockton, Karl Malone, just fundamentally great basketball.
Right.
And so he loved that. And I just remember them arguing about it. So that's what drove me to want to watch, like, okay, what are they arguing about? And I just remember watching, and I didn't know who was who, but I just knew this bald headed guy, oh, something different about him. Like I just literally remember gravitating towards him and just like, wait a minute, that's the dude from Space Jam too. So then
Right.
it was just like next thing you know, of course he retired after that. Then after that, like that my next thing that I fell in love with, because I didn't watch it like full time. I would watch just the final because my whole family would watch it. And the next thing I remember, was Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe. Fro Kobe.
Yeah.
Pro Kobe, ball headed Shaq. I was a big Shaq fan. I that's literally the reason why I disliked Kobe for so long was because of what he did to Shaq. Like the in the media talking and next thing you know, Shaq then went down to Miami. I did not like Kobe for that reason. And so Shaq was my dude. And then from there, Tracy McGrady, of course you got to find your guard. So anyway, long story short, it always starts with somewhere that somebody you see. In your case, it was Shaq. And so Kevin Durant, though. So of course, Kevin Durant, you're probably one of your favorite players of all time. So
Mhm.
what do you feel about KD's legacy? Like, we saw him grow in OKC, and he decides to go to Golden State. Let's start there. How did you feel? Were you on his side? Did you like the move? Like, how did you feel when he went to Golden State?
I hated it, man. I mean, I was heartbroken, man, because even though I am, he's my favorite player, and I am the type that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a fan of him wherever he go. I'm gonna support that team. But at the same time, when you cheer for a team for so long,
Yeah.
because your favorite players there, you become attached to that team, which is why I'm still an OKC fan to this day. See, at first I was just a Kevin Durant fan,
Yeah.
but years after cheering for OKC, I became an OKC fan. And man, it was like I was so torn if I was going to support KD after he left and go to state because one, we were so close to beating them in
Up 3-1.
OKC.
Up
I'm
3-1.
like, when we're up 3-1, I'm like, when we got it, I'm like, we lose, okay, we lose, all right, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, we could go back, and it probably wouldn't have been so bad for me. Like I wouldn't have looked at it so bad if he would have went anywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere else but the team that just beat us.
Yeah.
That's what like kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. Like,
I think that was what did it for everybody.
yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's what. Yeah, it hurt, man. I mean, it hurt bad
Yeah.
for that to happen. So that really that really hurt. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
You
So he goes to Golden State. Most people feel the same way you feel, like what you doing. Cupcake even came out, and, and literally, but hey, he does exactly what he intends to do. They win a couple championships, of course, then he get injured, Brooklyn days. Now he's with the Suns. So he's kind of bounced around, jumped around. Things haven't been quite the same actually since he's left Golden State, really. Um, do you feel like does he win another one? Will he win another one before his career is over with? And do you feel like with his legacy, because at this point, I personally feel like, Steph has won two without him. He has not won anything without Steph and Golden State. So what if he doesn't win? What does that do for his legacy? And do you think he will win another one anyway?
I feel like it's definitely possible for him to win another one. It's just going. I don't know if it'll be with the Suns. They are a weirdly constructed team. As
Okay.
right now, they don't have much of a bench. They, like you said, very top heavy, very offensive minded team. Bunch of scorers. They traded away a lot of their role players in pursuit of big names. Um, like I said, it's possible that they can win anything. It's always possible for somebody, but I don't know if he'll win it in Phoenix. I would like to see him win a couple more, and I think he could with the right team or with the right
Next
constructed
year.
team. Uh,
Would would you be mad if he ever went back to Golden State?
no, I wouldn't. Um, I would prefer him go back to OKC.
Oh,
That's always been my
hey,
wish is he go back to OKC.
hey,
If
he
he
could.
went back to Golden State, it would be like somebody need to slap him upside his head because you should have never left in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So
That's how I feel about it. I
yeah,
don't. Once you're there, I feel like the media, watching narrative. I feel like the media. That's why I create the show because of watching, because of the narratives that these guys create in the media. Because I felt like they didn't like the Golden State Warriors, so they pitted all these things on that team. Of course, Draymond had his blow up, and then I think even Kevin Durant talked about it. That was definitely played a strong part of him deciding like, what, I'm gonna part ways.
yeah,
But I feel like winning solves all. Even if he gets injured in 2019, you got COVID in 2020. 2021 because Golden State won without him. So imagine 2021, they're all healthy again. They probably run off 2 or 3 more.
oh
And by
yeah, for
this
sure.
time, now Kevin Durant has 4 to 5 titles. Who cares about how you got there? You're a legend now. You up there with one of the goats. And so I felt like he should have just stayed there. Don't worry about the media. Don't worry about the noise. Because yes, I didn't like the move either. Because how he went there, but once you get there, you win, and just block the noise out and just keep winning. Just keep
Yeah,
winning. You
I
know.
think he allowed, like you said, the media to have such a say so in his emotions
Yeah.
and the outlook that he had when obviously when you look at it honestly, the fans, Golden State fans, love Kevin Durant there.
Oh, they did. Yeah.
And that was the thing. They created the media created such a controversy within the team, like especially between him and Draymond.
Yep.
And I feel like a lot of that could have been mitigated if he would have just blocked it out and not even paid attention to any of that and just went out there and balled. They
Two.
could have, like I said, they could have ran it up, man. I mean, they still would have been dominant, you know,
Yeah.
and it would have
Still.
helped so much too with Clay coming back from his injury and not being the same.
Yep. And
Then
now
they
you
could have
oh yeah.
still been a dynasty, you
Oh yeah.
know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Sure.
yeah, but I think it does in the end because he's had so many unproductive years. If he doesn't win another one, I do feel like it does hurt his legacy. Even though he won them two chips, it's just I mean it's definitely not it's not going to look good if he don't win anymore.
Yeah, he needs another one.
He's just going to be a great player. He's going to be a well-known player. I mean, there's no doubt in his ability to play basketball. He's going to be an all-time great, but he's not going to be one of those top 10
Yeah.
all-time players.
That's the difference. I think that's the difference. And but I love what you said about OKC, especially I didn't even know think about like him going back to OKC, kind of like a LeBron, going back home type deal.
Exactly.
Because it will be perfect timing now because that team is about one piece, one Kevin Durant away.
And
Tough.
man,
Oh,
they
being
are balling,
tough,
man. They are
tough.
balling.
Yeah. So let's transition. Let's go to 2K.